In this video, I'm gonna share with you how to sell your old sports cards like an absolute pro, and I promise, if you already have sports cards on you, this video alone is single-handedly gonna make you a lot of money and much more than you expect, okay? So I've been doing this for a long time. I've been teaching people how to make money buying and selling sports cards, and a lot of people that come into my coaching program have sports cards already in their hands, in their closet, in their storage facility, whether they're older cards, newer cards. And a thing me and my coaches do is we help people move these cards and sell them for as much money as possible to take that money and then put it into our system. So there's two types of you guys out there that have sports cards already laying around your house, and I'll kind of break down each one. So the first one is you guys who open up packs and boxes and probably lose money doing so, but you have a bunch of newer cards just laying around all over the place, cards that are worth $1, $5, $10, $50, $100, just all over the place. And then there's the other guys that used to buy and sell sports cards in the 80s, 90s, a long time ago, and have those cards. So I'm gonna break each one down and exactly what to do with each types of cards you have. So let's go after the second one first. So if you're someone that has sports cards from a long time ago and you wanna sell them and make money, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to look for and exactly how to make money doing it. So if you have old sports cards, the first thing you should know is cards from the 70s, 80s, and 90s are generally worthless. Generally, okay? This is called the junk wax era. Bottom line, the reason they're basically worth nothing is because they were massively overproduced. Like Ken Griffey Jr., for example, his rookie card has hundreds of thousands printed, so they're just not worth that much money. If you do have older cards, the cards you want to be looking for is either A, basketball from the 90s, and I'm talking about stars. So Michael Jordan cards from the 90s could sell for good amounts of money. Allen Iverson, Dirk Nowitzki, Tracy McGrady, even guys like Yao Ming. If it's anyone you've heard of and you have some basketball stuff from the 90s, you're gonna wanna go on eBay, look at recent sales, and see what that card is selling for. Now, condition is king, okay? So you can have a 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan card that's a super common card and it's worth $2, but graded a 10, it could be worth $300, okay? Really, if these cards are just beat up and out of really bad condition, they're probably not worth much. But if you have cards from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you wanna boil it down to 90s basketball. That is the stuff that could be worth a lot of money. And I've seen it time and time again. We have students who come into our program. I can give you one. His name was actually Eric, and he knew he had some money in Michael Jordan cards. He used to collect Michael Jordan as a kid through the 80s and through the 90s, and he had millions and millions of dollars in value of Michael Jordan cards that he thought was worth like 10, 20 grand, okay? Not saying that's gonna be you, but look for that 90s basketball stuff, and if it's in good condition, you're in luck. Also, older cards that you could look for are vintage cards from 1969 and below. And the beautiful thing about these cards is they don't have to be in great condition and they could still be worth a lot of money. Now, cards from the 60s are good, and same principles the 90s apply. You want to be looking for stars, right? Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle. Even though in the 60s it wasn't their rookie year, their cards from the 60s could be worth a decent amount of money. But what you really want to be looking for is 1959 and below. So you might be saying to yourself, like, Eric, like, why would my cards from the 70s be worthless, but my cards from the 50s could be worth a ton of money? Well, the reason is just supply and demand. So in the 40s and the 50s, people were not like bullish on sports cards. They didn't think anything of it, and no one saved these cards. All these cards were thrown out, they were abused, they were used, and there's not many of them. Because there's not many of them, they're worth more money. People in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s came around to the idea of sports cards. So one, they were massively overproduced, and number two, everybody kept their cards, right? How many people do you know that have their cards from the 80s or the 90s? And because there's still so much more of them, they're just not worth as much money. So 1959 and below is really the golden era of sports cards. Like, ask your grandpa, ask your older uncles. They might have stuff, and I've seen it time and time again, that is worth a lot of money, okay? And those cards could be worth a boatload, and they don't need to be in good condition. The cards from the 90s need to be in good condition, okay, for it to be worth anything of value. So if you have older cards, that's what you want to be looking for. Bottom line, 90s basketball, baseball, or really anything from 1969 and below, but really 1959 and below is like really where the money's at. So that's the older cards. Now the newer cards. So if you're someone that's been opening up packs and boxes and cases and you have all these cards laying around, what should you do with them, right? You want to make money. So the way to make money with these cards is getting them graded. So it costs about $20 at the minimum to get a card graded. And most of these cards you're opening up from packs and boxes should be in good condition. If you're enjoying the content of the video and you want to learn how to make a side income with sports cards, I spent the past 3 months putting together a training to show you exactly how it's done in detail. Sports cards has allowed me to live a life beyond my wildest imagination, and I am thankful for the hobby every single day. That is the reason I teach sports cards, and I am so passionate about it. At the end of the training, we offer a paid program where you can work closer with me. However, I don't want you joining until you've watched the free training I put together. It will show you exactly what's inside the program and how to make money with sports cards, and from there, you can make an educated decision. So if you'd like to sign up for the free training, either scan the QR code on the screen or text Eric to 631-544-7005 or click the link in the description. Just to repeat it, you can either scan the QR code or text Eric to 631-544-7005 or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. I have a bunch of other videos that explain how to look at the condition of the card. I have trainings. You can message me on Instagram, comment on YouTube. I'll send you a training of how to look at the condition of a card. But as long as it's in solid condition, the rule I tell my students, if I could double my money getting a card graded as a 10, I want to send it in. So you already have these cards in your possession, right? And it costs $20 to get a card graded. So what I would be looking at these cards and asking myself, okay, can I send this card in for grading, and can I double my money after my cost? And your cost is gonna be $20 to get the card graded. So in other words, can I net $40 once this card's graded a PSA 10? If you could, then I would send it in for grading. And if you can't, I would just put all the cards in a box, take pictures of them, post them to Instagram, some Facebook groups. Facebook groups are really good, and sell them for a few $100. Just get the money because they're not going to be doing anything anyways, just sitting there. But if you could send in a card for grading and at least net $40, I would send it in for grading. But make sure the condition is on point. If you've been keeping these cards like crap and they're ruined and the corners are ruined, it's not worth sending in. You don't want to spend $20 to get a card graded, and a PSA 10 is only worth $30, right? That doesn't make any sense, because $30 after fees, you're gonna net 25 bucks maybe, and you made $5 for all that work. And I see it all the time. I'll see people on eBay sell cards as a PSA 10 for like $18, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, cost $20 to get the card graded. So that is what you should do with your older cards. That's what we tell our students to do. So just to break it down once again, if they're old, 90s basketball, 1969 and below, but really 1959 and below is like the golden era. And then newer cards, ask yourself, can I double my money after sending it in for grading, okay? And all you need to do is just go to eBay, just type in the name of the card, look at recent sales and see, is this card selling for at least $40 after everything? So the card's probably gonna need to sell for about $50 because you're gonna incur some fees. So can I net $40 after everything? If you could, I would send it in. And you'd be surprised. There's cards out there, like newer cards that might be worth $6, but as a PSA 10, it's worth $70. And you might have a bunch of them, and you may not be thinking anything of it because you probably looked on eBay and you're probably thinking to yourself, like, damn, this card's only worth $4, $5, $6. I'm just gonna put it on my desk and do something with it in the future. But that card is a 10, might be 70, 80 bucks, and you might have 10 or 20 of them. I see it happen all the time. People have thousands and thousands of dollars in cards just laying around just because they were too lazy to get it graded, or they just didn't know these older cards were worth something. So that is the breakdown of how to make money with cards you currently have. You know, don't just sell them to your card shop for like 50% off, because that's what's going to happen if you go to your card shop. Make money off of it. Take the money, and put it to something useful. I recommend, investing in some sort of coaching. I'm not just saying me, because I coach people how to make money buying and selling sports cards, but take the money and put it towards something that'll impact the life for you and your family. And usually that's, starting a business or an investment of some sort. But feel free to do whatever you want with the money. Just my suggestion. But hopefully you like this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think below. Do you think I'm missing something? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree with what I said? Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.